Super Mario 64 was and is one of the most influential video games of all time. Whoa, hold on to your hat there, Slick. I'll explain. As many of you will already know, Super Mario 64, released in 1996 for the Nintendo 64, marked a monumental turning point for the gaming industry. The groundbreaking mechanics within this video game set the standard for future generations. To completely appreciate this argument, it is essential to explore its historical context, innovative gameplay mechanics, and enduring impact on game design. In this video, I will confirm that Super Mario 64 was and remains a true legend in the gaming realm. It's widely regarded as a timeless gem that revolutionized the industry, from enriching the childhood of many individuals in the 90s to allowing gamers to test their gaming prowess through speedrunning in more recent years. This game is understandably held in high regard. Join me as we dive into the captivating world of Super Mario 64 and uncover the everlasting significance it holds within gaming history. This is Video Game Goats, Super Mario 64.
Mamma mia! Oh?
To fully appreciate the impact of Super Mario 64, we must first consider the gaming landscape in the mid-1990s. With the transition from 2D to 3D gaming, the industry was facing a pivotal movement towards technological advancement and artistic exploration. The concept of three-dimensional gaming was fresh and new, especially in the platforming space, but equally, no developers had truly nailed the experience. Titles within this genre which had already been released included Alpha Waves, released in 1990, Jumping Flash, released in 1995, and Bob-omb 3D, released in 1996. Other honourable mentions include Crash Bandicoot, released in 1996, and Bug and Bug 2, which were released in 1995 and 1996 respectively. These games only demonstrated three-dimensional traits and were therefore not truly 3D. Players would simply move forward, backward, left and right within a three-dimensional or three-dimensional feeling landscape. Additionally, most of Super Mario 64's predecessors were riddled with issues due to growing pains, such as rigid or sluggish controls, boring graphics, textures and player models, dull level design and structures, and baffling design choices.
Oh my god!
Super Mario 64 marked a monumental shift in video game design upon its release. A game which successfully transitioned a beloved 2D franchise into a fully immersive three-dimensional world. This groundbreaking leap allowed players to freely explore vast environments, use or manipulate objects, and interact with various characters in a way never before seen in gaming. The release of Super Mario 64 provided the catalyst needed to redefine gamers' expectations, pushing the boundaries of what was deemed possible within the medium. This game emerged as the flagship title for the Nintendo 64 console and set a new bar for immersive experiences. captivating both audiences and developers alike. One of the cornerstones of Super Mario 64's significance lies in its innovative game mechanics and precise controls. As previously mentioned, prior to the release of Super Mario 64, gamers were only subject to side-scrollers, or games which use 3D or 3D looking models to create the feeling of 3D. With the release of Super Mario 64, we were not only given a truly three-dimensional landscape, but also controls which allow the player to move Mario around within it. This was achieved through the invention of the analog thumbstick. Nintendo had previously utilized D-pads or tetradirectional in their controllers, which allowed one to manipulate the lead character to move left, right, forward, backward, and on each diagonal plane. Additionally, the buttons on the D-pad only had two states, pushed or not pushed, active or not active. And thus, with the birth of the control stick, and therefore more percentage-based movements, the developers ingeniously created a system that perfectly harmonized the leap into the third dimension. The thumbstick detected 360 independent directions rather than 8, allowing the potential for greater freedom of movement. Mario's movements, being his jumps, slides, and backflips, feel fluid and natural, as you, the player, truly felt in control. Those who have played quite a few hours of Super Mario 64 will make the gameplay look amazing. However, as aforementioned, this type of gameplay was foreign to the people who were lucky enough to play the game upon release. This is evident as seen in this video of a man calmly insisting that his daughter cross the bridge.
Go back over the bridge. Go over the, no, go back over the bridge. You gotta go over the bridge. The bridge.
When you control him, he's kind of hard to control because he goes so fast and you don't know which way you want to go.
However, this jump in character movement also birthed new problems, most notably the ability to manipulate the camera angle as the player moved our mustache man around. How could the developers give players unprecedented control over their perspective, allowing for a depth of immersion that was unheard of at the time? This is a great question, one which perplexed said developers for some time. Apparently, the dev created numerous types of camera systems and found it difficult to decide on just one. Well, thank heavens for that, because this inspired them to create the final camera system, which allowed the player to manipulate the camera angle manually with the left and right C buttons rapidly, as well as using the up C button to give the players the ability to view exactly what Mario is seeing from the first person perspective. Now sure, this camera system did lack fluidity in some aspects and areas, and certainly if an individual with no nostalgia played it today, it will feel clunky. But it must be understood that this mechanic was brand new at the time, and I believe the developers did a great job with this in mind. Super Mario 64 introduced an unprecedented level of player agency through its fluid controls and the freedom to explore vast open-ended environments. Nintendo's innovative analog control system perfectly complemented Mario's acrobatic movements, granting players an intuitive and precise interaction with the virtual world. The overall easy-to-manipulate camera system further enhanced this experience, allowing for dynamic viewpoints and adaptable perspectives. These mechanics elevated Super Mario 64 beyond its predecessors and demonstrated the potential of 3D gaming, fueling a wave of creativity in subsequent titles. Super Mario 64 introduced the concept of open-world exploration to a mainstream audience. Instead of following linear levels like its predecessors, players were presented with sprawling, interconnected worlds, brimming with hidden secrets and surprises.
Mario! Ah! Jesus! Jesus!
In past Mario games, the player would simply run, walk, and jump to the right in order to get to the end of the level. Get through enough levels, and you would get to the next world. Truly the definition of a linear level design. But now, players were introduced to Peach's castle.
Princess Toadstool?
But this was no ordinary castle. Rich girl Peach could afford 2 castles, and this one was just for her magical artworks.
Woohoo! Oh,
Certain parts of the castle were closed off until you collected enough stars.
she'll never know what I'm doing inside her castle. The door slowly opens.
Well, how do you collect stars? Simple. You would enter a myriad of paintings. Yes, paintings.
Here we go!
Which I presume worked as portals, in order to attain stars through both obvious and not so obvious descriptions. Was that enough? No. You must also collect coins. Remember those? Get those rings out here, Sonic, you peasant. Collect 8 of these red ones and you get a star.
When you collect all 8 red coins, the star will appear here. Yeah, I didn't get that last time.
Then, use that double coin bonus to collect 100. Collect 100 and you get another star. But wait, to get this next star, you must collect a new power-up cap. And now you need that one, then that one, and then this one. Well, that one was scrapped, but you get the idea. Now use that perfectionist brain of yours to move on to the next level and do it all again. Now you have enough stars to fight Bowser, but wait, you won the battle, but not the war. You'll have to work your way through more paintings and or weird castle voodoo magic secrets to get more stars and unlock more areas of the castle using either power stars or keys from fighting this spiky prick. Fight more bosses by doing the same thing 3 times, including Bowser. What is it with this game and the number 3, by the way? Anyway, throw another 2 Bowsers into Wiggler's body segments for some reason, and there you have it. You've finally rescued Peach, and your journey is over. Yep, who are you kidding? You're a nerd and you want to collect 120 stars. Good for you. Once you've done so, jump into this cannon, shoot yourself onto the top of the castle like Evil Knievel, and talk to Emo Yoshi. Get 100 lives from your boy, and watch him jump off the roof into a waterfall. Never to again. Whew. Sorry, I blacked out. What was I saying? Oh right, yep. This shift not only expanded the gameplay experience exponentially, but also laid the groundwork for future open world masterpieces that we all enjoy today. The revolutionary aspect of Super Mario 64 lies in its non-linear level design, offering players numerous paths, playstyles, secret areas, and objectives to discover within each stage. This design philosophy encouraged exploration and rewarded players for their curiosity, promoting a sense of player agency and self-directed gameplay. By designing interconnected worlds, Nintendo broke free from the linear trajectory of traditional platformers, granting the player a sense of freedom which was not yet seen in mainstream gaming. These innovative design choices influenced successes like The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, which adapted Nintendo's groundbreaking approach to create a robust and immersive world. Alright, plug time. If you've enjoyed the video so far, why not subscribe to the channel? I tell you what, subscribe and like, and I'll do Ocarina next. Bet? Alright, bet. Super Mario 64 firmly cemented Mario's position as an icon of gaming. With its release, Mario transcended from a two-dimensional pixelated hero to a lovable, charismatic character that players could truly connect with. This new iteration of Mario became the face of gaming, captivating the hearts of millions worldwide and shaping the future of the industry. However, this game ain't all Mario Sunshine and Rainbows. See what I did there? Super Mario 64 has created and maintained a following since its release and into the present time. If I told you to think of another game that has maintained a strong following for over 20 years, could you do it? It's coming up to 30 years since its release, and people still love playing this game. That's just madness.
You're not so tough.
This is Sparta!
Whoa, where's my chute?
As stated in the title of this section, this game instills a vast array of emotions in the player as they explore Peach's castle and its expansive worlds. Two which spring to mind for me are Dire Dire Docks and Wet Dry World. First, Dire Dire Docks emits feelings of warmth, familiarity and comfort, mostly due to its beautiful background music composed by Koji Kondo. This song is just as impactful as Song of Storms in my opinion, but that's a story for another day. The music of Super Mario 64 added to the immersion players felt as they explored the various worlds within. Every unique area had its own accompanying, unique song, which instilled certain emotions in the player. Every person will have their own unique memories about playing Super Mario 64, and these memories are strengthened through the association of musical ties. That's one reason for my love of Dire Dire Docks. It reminds me of staying up late playing this game, or the fact that Mario kept me company when I was sick at home. Wet Dry World is another level which sparks the same emotions in me as it does in so many others. This level always felt a little off to me. The world was so bland, emotionless, empty, and it instills a feeling of apathy and passive anxiety in the player. I'm not the only one who has explained this phenomenon, and I won't be the last. Moreover, this world is sparsely filled with insipid, emotionless enemies, has an empty town which utilizes assets from the Ocarina of Time beta, gives the player the ability to change the water level by interacting with floating crystals or jumping through the painting at various heights. And lastly, it also uses the most unusual skybox, later determined as being the real-life location of Bob-omb in Yemen, also known as the Manhattan of the desert, as well as featuring the Mosque of Muhammad Ali in Cairo, Egypt, seen at the top of the town. Now let's focus on the skybox, which makes it seem as though the entirety of Wet Dry World is completely submerged, due to the rippling blue lines which cover the sun. This of course adds to the unease of the level, as it almost replicates the viewpoint of looking up at the sun from a pool, or even more uncomfortably, the ocean. I believe that this adds to the negative aura, as this skybox passively brings forth emotions of drowning. It can be even more impactful for individuals if they have been involved in a near-death experience through drowning, as I have, and it is my estimation that the person who first transcribed this negative aura also experienced this in their past. Not only this, but those who genuinely feel the same negative aura, the ones who aren't just jumping on the bandwagon, have shared similar experiences. This argument is strengthened by the fact that no one, including myself, have shared similar feelings about any of the other underwater levels in the game. There were plenty of swimming levels in the game, yet none have had the same widespread effect on people as Wet Dry World. So add this to the points I raised earlier, and add a sprinkling of sketchy music for effect, and a negative emotional aura is what you get. Super Mario 64 not only holds significance for the impact it had upon release, but also for its nostalgia and preservation of gaming history. The memories and experiences players had while traversing its imaginative worlds have become cherished parts of their lives. Additionally, Efforts to preserve and re-release this monumental game for modern platforms ensure that future generations can appreciate and enjoy the masterpiece that is Super Mario 64. Nostalgia must be fed, and Super Mario 64 deserves to live on. Thankfully, we have content creators which have done their part to ensure this happens. It's no secret that speedrunning is an important part of the gaming community. I have no interest in being a speedrunner myself, certainly not for most games I have played, but I have watched numerous speedruns for 2 games and 2 games only. Care to guess what they are? That's right, Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. For me, nostalgia and speedrunning go hand in hand. I both love and miss Super Mario 64, as well as respecting those who make its gameplay look flawless. Enter speedrunning. The best Super Mario 64 speedrunners, such as Simply, Punkation, Liam, Cheese, they all did so much for the community. But for me, the GOAT is and will always be Cyclemic. Unfortunately, his times have since fallen, but he is the reason that so many of his successors, yes, those blokes I mentioned earlier, got into speedrunning. His 120 star runs for Awesome Games Done Quick and Summer Games Done Quick, which were charity events hosted by gamers to raise money for cancer awareness, were absolutely legendary. His movement was absolutely ridiculous, and it hit that sweet nostalgia button. Not only do I have fond memories of playing Super Mario 64, but I also have fond memories of watching these legends play it too. In conclusion, the significance of Super Mario 64 reverberates throughout the gaming landscape, forever etched in the history books of video game history. Its revolutionary mechanics, groundbreaking design principles, and contribution to the evolution of 3D platforming and open world exploration have left a permanent mark on the industry. Despite its flaws, Super Mario 64 will always be remembered as a shining example of innovation, creativity, and enduring fun. Hopefully this video has allowed you to reflect upon your own experiences with this timeless gem and has kept you entertained for its duration. If that is the case, feel free to show your support by liking the video, leaving a comment, and subscribing to my channel for more documentary style videos. If you enjoy these documentary style videos and you're also into health and fitness, I've also made docos on Callum Von Moger and Rich Piana. Until next time, remember to always appreciate the classics.